Hey, it's Camilla here from Creative Moms Decant. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade chicken Alfredo and a peanut butter cheesecake. These are both so good, you won't want to miss this. Let's go!
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you
Start with room temperature ingredients. This is sour cream and cream cheese that I am going to combine together. However, you do want them to be room temperature. So I've just got them sitting in my sun here, and I'm going to grab a cup of coffee, and we're going to get started on the crust while I'm waiting for everything to make sure everything is room temperature before we begin. So it's a fairly normal graham cracker crust, except that I added some peanuts to the crust. And I also chose to use Teddy Grahams. I wanted the chocolate ones, but I got the chocolate chip, and I'm okay with that. So we're just going to break these peanuts up, and then we will continue on here with our crust in my Ninja. So I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of melted butter just until the crust comes together so that it will pack into my spring foam pan for a little pre-bake. So I just dump this all in, and then you can use a cup, or I just use the measuring cup that I've been using, that I used to melt butter, and I'm going to pack this all in here tight, and then we're going to put it in the oven, 5 to 8 minutes at 325. I made the crust go about halfway up the side. It's a personal preference. I'm not picky. It's homemade, but I do like it to have an edge. All right, so we're going to beat the cream cheese and sour cream until it's totally smooth. It's going to take a few minutes. And then we're going to add the sugar and the salt, and we're going to beat until those are completely combined. It'll take just a minute here for everything to kind of become one white batter. But just scrape down your sides and keep going until your sugar and your cream cheese and your sour cream are all fully incorporated. So now we're going to add 4 eggs, one at a time. So I've got my mixer on, and I'm going to add them one at a time. You're also going to get to see my mad one-handed egg skills here, which may or may not sometimes cause an eggshell. Also, don't forget to scrape your bowl down between adding your eggs so that everything is combining beautifully. Once everything's combined, we're going to add 1 cup of heavy cream and get it combined. All right, so now we're going to add most of the batter to our cooled, prepared pan, leaving some still in the mixer. Add 1 cup of peanut butter to your leftover mixer and combine. I'm going to smooth out the vanilla cake batter while this combines. And then we're going to put spoonfuls inside to make it kind of a peanut butter swirl. You could add the peanut butter to all the batter, or you could use a little less batter than I did, but either way it's going to turn out fantastic. A little bit of peanut butter with some batter here. And then just swirl in your peanut butter batter into your vanilla batter. All right, this is all ready for the oven. So to take about 75 to 80 minutes, I do put a pan of hot water in the bottom of my oven. Got some dishes to dishes are caught up, so it's time to start the chicken Alfredo. I just have a couple tablespoons of butter and some olive oil in a pan, and I'm putting thin cutlets of chicken that I've seasoned just with a little red pepper, salt and pepper, and I'm going to sear these about 3 minutes on each side. And clean up really well after chicken has been out.
Big Bird was going to tear it down anyway. Because I just can't.
So remove the chicken, add a little bit more butter. I added lots of fresh garlic, and we're going to sear this out. Just be careful not to let your garlic burn. You do not want burnt garlic. If it does burn, you have to stop, get a new pan or wash this one and start over, and then you lose all your delicious chicken flavorings. We love garlic super, super roasty, so I turn down the heat and really let this sizzle just to the point of not burnt. So be very careful doing this. You don't have to take it this far, too far, and it's bad. So this is perfect. And now I'm going to add some flour, just a couple tablespoons or so, just enough to kind of soak up your butter and your drippings here. And then you want to saute this flour until it smells like nuts. So it'll smell kind of nutty, and that's when you know your flour is perfect for gravy, or in this case, for our sauce. So once my flour is nutty, I am going to add heavy cream slowly. So we're going to add in some heavy cream and we're going to stir it, and we're going to keep doing this until I have a sauce consistency that I love. So I almost like go risotto style when I make my Alfredo, but I like everything to almost to really toast up and cream together toasty. So my Alfredo isn't always perfectly white, but it is always perfectly delicious. You all, it is smelling so good in here. I cannot wait for dinner. So my Alfredo is simmering. My noodles are cooking. I'm going to take those not past al dente because I like to finish cooking them in this delicious sauce. And then I have my chicken breast resting over there, and all those juices on that pan I'm going to put in here. So I've added some Parmesan cheese now to my Alfredo. We love Parmesan in this house, so that is the only cheese that I use. Freshly grated would be better. Small town living means Kraft for the win. All right, so I'm just going to let this all cook, keep stirring my noodles, and this meal is almost together. So the cheesecake has cooled in my oven for 1 hour and on my counter. If you want to know a spoiler, I made this the night before and hid it in the refrigerator. I will put the ganache on it right before serving. But I'm just going to take it out of the spring foam pan here, and it goes back into the refrigerator. It looks so pretty. I did crack it a little bit. A little bit different water bath would help, but so does ganache coming up. Look at that beauty. So my finger's not a beauty, but that cheesecake is gorgeous. I cannot wait to dive in. But first we've got to finish up dinner. So I add my noodles straight from the boiling water once I know that they are al dente into my sauce. So I'm just going to scoot this pan over here and add these noodles. I am so excited about this meal. These are like my guilty pleasure foods. So definitely not something you can eat every day, but super delicious. So stir the noodles in with a handful of fresh parsley and some freshly grated lemon zest. Just brings this meal alive. I also add a little bit of a juice, about a half a lemon. No lemon seeds. All right, so this meal is done once we remove these lemon seeds, right? Okay, and you can plate this up however you'd like. We are typically family style in this house. However, I could easily make this meal date night and swirl it up on a fancy plate topped with a little bit more parsley and a lemon wedge on the side with beautifully sliced chicken breast. Oh, yeah. So the ganache is just hot, heavy cream poured over semi sweet chocolate chips. Don't touch for a couple minutes. So I'm going to drool over this dinner for a couple minutes. Then you stir this up, and once it's combined, you pour it over the cheesecake however you would like. I ran it down these sides and tried to make it pretty, and then I'm going to add some garnishes. You could do any garnishes you want. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Likes, subscribes, and comments really help us out. Have a joyful day. Bye.